Hey guys, Liv here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over a team that I built for a friend actually that I'm utilizing in our video with the Sharpness Gallade in Size Spam. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if you do, leave a like below and subscribe. And with that said, let's get right into it. So I'm going to preface this for this builder. A lot of these sets I just took and mashed together sets from VGC pace. So I'm going to link that down below. I can't remember the teams I pulled specific sets from, but I just remember picking from a lot of different stuff on here. And it's generally just a great archive to see what a lot of people are running. I've figured out at least a few different things that sets can do, so it won't be a completely dumbed down team builder. But I'm sure that in some cases you might be able to just work with a pretty simple spread and still get the same luck out of it. But first up though, we do have Kingambit. Now, this set has the Assault Vest with Defiant ability. Defiant is great at potentially pressuring other Intimidate mons like Arcanine and Gyarados and Salamence, which have fairly decent usage. Even Salamence, which has the least of the three, still has a couple percent, so it's still noteworthy enough. With the special defense and HP, I don't know what they specifically do, but you could take hits from stuff like Gallade and Armarouge. You could take hits from Pokemon such as Sylveon. Even once you do Terra Dark, you could choose Sylveon hits. Unless it was like Terra Fairy for some reason, which has pretty much like no coverage anyway. So I know you could take a lot of different hits from this. Even stuff like Crit Draco from Hydreigon, as long as it's not Terra Dragon, you could take the hit from. So pretty incredible, honestly. You can even go around like the Focus Energy set. Now, I will say that at the very least, offensively speaking, this thing is a monster. You have Brick Break for opposing Kingambit, you have Iron Head for stuff like Sylveon and random Terra Fairy mons, and then Sucker Punch and Kowtow just hit a majority of the metagame pretty well. So overall, pretty valuable. The 4 speed in here is really just for other 50 base Pokemon so you can outpace them, and that's pretty much it. Up next, we do have Gallade with the Scope Lens. Another mon I'm not entirely sure on what the Fizz Def is for, as well as the attack. I'm assuming it's to help with stuff like Ozzy, for example. But even still, with the 36 attack and the Adamant nature with Scope Lens, you're doing a ton of damage to mons like Dondozo, for example. You can OHKO non-Fizz Def Dondozos, which is pretty cool. You also can massacre Azumarill with not even being close, as long as you go for your Terra Grass. You have the Scope Lens item, which should help try and boost the crit ratio of moves like Psycho Cut and Leaf Blade to pretty near guaranteed, to be honest. And then Sacred Sword is great. This is mostly useful for stuff like Garganacl if it doesn't Terra, as well as for mons like Terra Steel Dondozo, because Terra Steel Dondozo is pretty decently ran. It's a great way around Clear Smog and Mungus, so you still have the way to get around the Fizz Def with this. I know for a fact, at the very least though, the speed tier, this will allow you to outpace max speed base 50s. So for some reason, if you find yourself fighting like a Jolly base 50 mon like an Azu for some reason, or even just mons that are max speed but modest nature or adamant nature, or really any non-speed boosting nature at base 60, you would also be creeping those. So the speed, if nothing else, is valuable, again, just to ensure you're really just always OHKOing Azu with this team, because this team doesn't really have a better breaker for it. Up next, we do have Garchomp, which is the Lumberry set. Now, this is actually mostly just because a lot of teams will assume Clear Amulet, and we don't actually really need it, because you could actually, against any good Intimidator, you can lead off with Garchomp plus Kingambit, and you can potentially threaten the Intimidators that way, because you'll have Kingambit on the field, which can go for stuff like Sucker Punch, and do a ton of damage with Defiant. So Garchomp is still pretty fine in terms of leading with Kingambit in that regard. You have the Lumberry, which will help get around burns, and the Rough Skin ability, which is amazing on this mon. Dragon Claw is also on here, which is mostly just to pressure the dragons, just because the fact we didn't really need Rock Slide, there's not a lot of flying types we have issue with, and Earthquake is just a great spread move here anyway, with Dragon Claw being a nice single target option with the rise of Wide Guard. With the Swords Dance option, of course, we're able to boost our attack and Terra Ground just because Earthquake will still probably be our primary attack of choice. We have Murkrow up next with the Violate. This is Terra Ghost, mostly just to get around potential Fake Out or Final Gambit options, which is pretty valuable. We have Taunt, Haze, Foul Play, and Tailwind. Essentially, this is just standard spit F Murkrow, with the Foul Play being great for physical offense, since there's so much of it on the ladder. Taunt is just great for setup options, as well as random Trick Room, or at least through a non-dark type perspective, we can get off the Trick Room. Well, we get stop them from getting off Trick Room, I should say. Haze is great for Dondozo matchups, and Tailwind is just valuable in this mon overall. It's great for our team too. We have Armarouge up next with the Trick Room, Wide Guard, Expanding Force, and Armor Cannon. We have Terra Grass, which is great, specifically because of the fact we have Flash Fire as our ability. To 28 HP, this is the best amount of HP we can invest without taking more damage from Life Orb. With this, we sit at a 189 HP stat at level 50, whereas if we throw in 252, we're at 192, and that means we're taking more damage overall, which is no bueno. With the 28 Spit F, it's just thrown in here because it's our weaker Spit F, and it's our weak defensive stat, and the max special attack bonus is so we can do as much damage as possible. Final mon on the team we have is Indeedee. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what this is. I just know in general, I've seen this Indeedee on a lot of different pace, some VGC pace, and I know that at the very least, the moves are pretty useful here. Trick Room is great to give ourselves a Trick Room route with Kingambit Armarouge, as well as potentially Gallade even, depending on the team comp. We have Helping Hand to boost damage for mons like Gallade and Armarouge, Armarouge, which are going to be our most common partners here. Psychic is a good single target option. Again, a lot of wide guard going on, and I don't really need to specifically be going for Gleam. It doesn't help a lot with this team personally. And Follow Me is just great for redirection. With that said, that's going to be our team comp. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let's get right to the battles. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, we're here today using a team built around Spam with Garchomp and Gallade. Also, obviously, just, you know, Kingambit and Murkrow. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if you do, of course, leave a like and subscribe. And with that said, let's get right into this. So my opponent's team consists of Amoonguss, Grimmsnarl, Gothitelle, Arcanine, Azumarill, and Annihilate. Okay, so looking at this matchup, one of the things that I really do love here is my Armarouge matchup. I feel like it's pretty good. So we're gonna lead off with Armarouge and Indeedee. I feel like as a lead, this should offer me a lot of different options. Actually, no, I'm not gonna bring Armarouge in the lead. I'm gonna bring another bench though. What I think I'm actually going to lead, I feel like that Garchomp Murkrow is a better lead, and I think I'm actually gonna bench Armarouge altogether, as weird as that sounds. I feel like bringing Gallade, well, no, do I want to bring Gallade? I think I am going to bring Gallade, yeah. I'm going to bench Armarouge. Armarouge isn't terrible, it has some decent options. For example, the Expanding Force spam is great and all. However, between stuff like Arcanine, as well as the fact that I would have to single target a lot of this team, I feel like, just considering the fact also that my opponent doesn't really have a lot that actually is valuable in my opinion in terms of attacking with Armor Cannon. I feel like Gallade, despite not having the spread move, should still be a lot more valuable between Psycho Cut and Sacred Sword here. It hits everything well, and it's also, unlike Armarouge, really... Oh shit, I forgot to turn off the showdown window. Also, unlike Armarouge, it has a really good way of actually damaging Azu if push comes to shove. In terms of our current turn though, I don't really have a switch into Azu at this point. Like, if we look at our team right now, I'm not really switching any of these in on Azu. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to manage to go for Terra Ground. And, actually, no, I'm not going to go for Terra yet. I'm going to go for Protect turn 1. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for the Tailwind here. I think that Tailwind will be more valuable. Oh, shit, I should have went for Taunt and Goth, actually. But I think they're going to fake out anyway. I'm pretty sure they're going to fake out with this lead and then go for Parasong on Azu. Yep, they went for fake out. Okay. This isn't too bad, but ultimately I should have probably went for the Taunt on Azu. That would have probably been a little bit better. Though if they're Drum Azu, it's not a big deal. It just mana I need to keep out for. Parasong. Okay, this is fine. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna proceed to click Sword Stance and Taunt, because I'm gonna try and take out the Gothitelle. So I'm gonna taunt the Gothitelle spot. If they go for Protect here, that's fine. So we'll go for Sword Stance this turn. They're probably really bulky Azu, so I'm not too concerned with this. I just need to take out Goth so I can switch out Garchomp. They're going to go for Protect on Azu, but they're not going to go for it on Gothitelle. Good to note. Means I can't go for it again. Nope, never mind. The Goth is just really slow. Okay, so they have Protect and Fake Out. And then Azumarill has Perish Song and Protect. Good to know. So we're going to get a Sword Dance off, and I'm just going to go for the Earthquake here. Earthquake should massacre literally everything. Of course, besides my own Murkrow, that is. So we're gonna go for the Earthquake and Terra Ground here. I feel like this is my best way. And then I'm gonna go for Taunt on. I'm gonna go for Taunt on Azu actually. No, I'm gonna go for Taunt on. I'm gonna go for Taunt on Goth because I just need to kill Goth. I really just need to kill Goth. They're gonna withdraw Azu. That's fine. They're going to switch out Whatmon. I'm gonna assume this is probably gonna be. Okay, it was Amoonguss. I meant to say Amoonguss, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it being Amoonguss. So Amoonguss is going down here. That's fine. They're gonna bring in Amoonguss and Arcanine. That's fine. We're Lumberry and Chomp, so a little unfortunate that we're not clearing that, but Lumberry still has a lot of use, to be fair. It would have helped a lot in the Spore situation here. So I'm okay with that. We're still +1, and we're still gonna have Terra, so we should still massacre literally both of these Pokemon. And if we're down to just Gallade and Indeedee at this point, so be it. I'm not too concerned with this. So we're gonna get the taunt off, I guess, on Arcanine. Arcanine's dead either way, and I think Amoonguss would be as well. So we're pretty set here. Let's see. So I already know one Mon is gone. How much does Amoonguss end up taking now? It does not actually die. That's actually kind of interesting. So they have to go into Goth here. Objectively speaking, they don't have another play. Because if they don't go into Goth, I'm just switching out. And I'm just going to go into Indeedee and Gallade. So I'm pretty okay with this. But Arcanine is gone, which is good for me. They are going to bring in Gothitelle. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click Earthquake. Because again, no real reason not to. If they have Protect on Mungus, that's fine. I'm going to go for a Taunt on Goth. Again, just to... Actually, no, I'm going to go for a Foul Play here, actually. Because they're probably going to go for Fake Out, and that's fine. I just want damage, truthfully. They're going to go for Protect. Okay. Protect also works. Mungus is probably also going to go for Protect. If not, though, then it just dies. Okay, so we know this thing now has Protect. Which is also, again, good to note. So, this should be not too bad. Gallade, I think, can definitely manage the rest of this team. It's actually super weak to Gallade. I will say one downside of going for the Terra Earthquake there meant that I now don't have Terra Grass for Azu. But it's not too big of a concern. Realistically, I just go for Psycho Cut and everything, and I'm still fine. And I just follow me with Indeedee in the off chance I get attacked. So again, not really too concerned here. What I think I'm going to manage to do, I am going to proceed to... I'm just going to Psycho Cut into the Amoonguss spot. They're probably going to take advantage of that turn and go for something like a Trick Room, which I'm okay with. But I really just need to make sure that I am... Let's see, we're going to play this on the left. Swap in. Turn 1, I should have taunted Goth, in all honesty. I should have just taunted Goth turn 1. Force it out. Because that would have been great. But you know what? It's still not a big deal. It's still not a big deal at all. So I'm going to proceed to go for Psycho Cut into the Amoonguss slot. Meanwhile, on the Indeedee, I'm probably just going to go for Follow Me. Because my goal here should always be to try and take any sort of damage that otherwise I would need to worry about with my Gallade. So we're going to go for the Psycho Cut here. They're probably going to go for Spore on this turn for Gallade, which is fine. Again, Amoonguss going for this. Oh, they're actually going to switch out Amoonguss. This could not have been better, because now Azu's going to get like completely screwed over by that Psycho Cut. Not really sure what they thought they would get off here, but it's going to work out. It literally cannot work out better for me, actually, if I'm going to be honest. Because they're going to lose their Perish Songmon. They did not lose their Perish Songmon. Are you fucking kidding? This thing is weak as shit. This mon is fucking weak. Holy shit. Okay, they're gonna go for Hypnosis here, and it does miss, of course. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna proceed to do, I'm gonna go for the Helping Hand here. Kind of wish I went for Trick Room, but it's not a huge deal. We're gonna go for the Leaf Blade into the Azu. Leaf Blade should do a ton of damage. Again, I really just need to bank on the crit, so I'm perfectly fine with this. They're gonna probably get up to Perish Song here, which I'm not too concerned with. Actually, no, I'm a little concerned with it, because realistically, Perish Song should do a ton of damage. But we're going to KO this regardless. I should not take this hit. They're going to go for Protect. Okay. Again, really wishing I got off the Trick Room now. Genuinely speaking, I really thought they would have already clicked Perish Song. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for Helping Hand here on Gallade, and I'm going to go for Psycho Cut on Amoonguss. No, on Azumarill. Just in the off chance they try and go for some sort of offensive move here. If they click Perish Song, though, I think that's game. Because I'm realizing now I don't actually have a way around this. Oh, shit. We underpaced. What the fuck did Azu click then to overpace us? Like, is this like a... What the fuck did it click? It had to have clicked a minus priority move there. Because... Wait, is Trick... Never mind. Trick Room must be not up. I'm an idiot. I'm realizing now Trick Room isn't up. Why did I think Trick Room was up? I'm a little bit dumb. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a little bit dumb here. All right, we're gonna go for Follow Me at this point, and I'm gonna go for a Psycho Cut into Amoonguss. I feel like, again, I don't know where I got the notion that Trick Room was up, but okay. So it's fine. It worked out well for us. Truthfully, I just saw the pink from the Psychic Terrain, and I was like, oh, Trick Room's up. But you know what? I'll take it. Again, I didn't even have Trick Room on my notes anywhere, keep in mind. I didn't write down Trick Room for Goth. I did not write down that any Pokemon had Trick Room accidentally under another Pokemon like Arcanine that got killed turn 1, or like a Moongus for some reason. No, it never was up. But I don't know why I convinced myself that it was up. I think it might have been, truthfully, actually, that I saw the Tailwind, and I was like, oh, okay, well, they're using a lot of priorities to Protect. Trick up. And no, that's not the case. But anyway, enough with justification of why I was just being really dumb. Let's get into game number 2. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so moving on to game number 2 here. I'm 100% going to lead off with the Psy Spam route. I think that going with Psy Spam realistically is going to be really beneficial here. So we're going to go with Indeedee Armarouge. I think that in the back I'm going to bring Murkrow because I'm going to keep it around for later on when taking on Dondozo. In the off chance it's a Terra type that I don't really like Gallade's matchup for. But I am still going to bring Gallade. I think that Gallade realistically should be a strong contender here. I could also have a lot of merit bringing either Kingambit or Garchomp. I don't know. I feel like ultimately, so specifically the reason for Kingambit would just be the fact that it's a dark type, but ultimately I think I also need my Gallade for their Kingambit. So I'm gonna go with this. Good luck or fun to my opponent though, but we'll have to see. They're probably going to not lead off with so the reason why I'm saying specifically lead is because if they didn't bring it as the lead, they're not bringing it all, but they're probably not going to lead off with Lamora here. Solely for the fact that I'm assuming this is specifically for Dozo mirrors, but I'm not 100% sure. I know this does get ran on Dozo Gary sometimes. They actually do lead off with Lamora. It's kind of interesting, but we'll take it. And let's see. So they're bringing in Glimmora and Kingambit as lead. This is honestly perfectly fine. I'm not really too concerned with this attack at all. My Pokemon in the back don't entirely mind this T-Spikes being up. We're gonna go for the I'm gonna go for the Terra Grass for one, and I'm gonna go for the Armor Cannon into this. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Psychic into Glimmora because it's probably Focus Sash. Armor Cannon should absolutely massacre Kingambit. I cannot see a world unless it goes for Terra that it would actually take this hit. And meanwhile as well, the Glimmora would essentially need to predict that I'm going for Terra Grass here, which, I mean, has some weight to it, to be fair, but they also need to then play around if I don't go for Terra Grass. Do they Power Gem in case I just go for Armor Cannon, or whatever the fuck do I click? They're going to go for Mortal Spin here, that's fine. They're going to poison both these bonds. Truthfully, this isn't the aspect that I need to keep around, so I'm pretty okay with that. We know that Glimmora now has Mortal Spin and that it does outpace. Also, I always forget that this move is spread. I forget this move is spread like all the time. And it's kind of a cool aspect of Glimmora, to be honest. You know, having a spread hazard removal move that also poisons. Like, it's such a cool move. But Armor Cannon's gonna go off into Kingambit though. This should take out Kingambit. Again, I cannot see a world where it takes this hit. Beautiful. Okay, one Mon gone. They probably have Dozagiri in the back. This means that Gallade Murkrow should just win. I cannot see a world where it doesn't, but now I have no reason to stop me from just clicking Expanding Force here, and then clicking Follow Me, just in the off chance of a single target move, like a Sludge Bomb, for example. If they have spreads, then it doesn't really matter, but also Indeedee's attack won't really matter here either, in all honesty. I could click Helping Hand as well, and Helping Hand also has a lot of weight, but it's going to depend on what comes in. They're going to bring in Tatsugiri. Okay, yep, they're definitely going for Dondozo. All right. So yeah, I'm just going to click Expanding Force here. And then, meanwhile, I'm actually going to click Helping Hand. I don't know why I said I wasn't going to click Helping Hand. We're going to click Helping Hand. I could click Trigger Room as well, but again, I feel like just going for this is ultimately going to be better. They'll have to click Protect and Tatsugiri. They're going to go for Icy Wind, actually. So, Armory's avoiding. I mean, it's a little bad for them, but I wouldn't exactly say this would have KO'd unless they're clicking like a Sludge Wave here. So, Sludge Bomb. Okay, so they are just going for the single target. In that case, then yeah, it would have mattered. But even still, I guess, you know, I should have probably also just clicked Follow Me like I was thinking of. I got a little too excited there and decided, let's not click the attack I'm committing to. So that's something. I'm going to go into Murkrow. I'm going to go into Murkrow here, and I'm going to go for Tailwind, and then I'm going to go for Psychic. And specifically, I'm doing this so that then I can KO the... Let's see, yeah, we're doing this specifically to KO the fucking... the Glimmora. I don't know why I thought so hard about that. It's the Glimmora I'm taking out. Again, brain's a little out of it today, but yeah, we're gonna take out Glimmora here. They're gonna go for Icy Wind. They dodge the Indeedee. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting really lucky with these Icy Winds. I can't lie, because if they hit Indeedee, actually, that could have potentially been bad. But ultimately, it's not a huge deal. I just want to take out Glimmora is all before T-Spikes get up. So we're good here. Gallade should be pretty freed. This is definitely a Scarf Tatsugiri, which I'm fine with. And then they have Icy Wind. So again, I'm also fine with this. So when Dondozo inevitably does come in here, I'm going to just click Haze, and I'm just going to clear their status. Yep, they do bring in Dondozo. So I'm just going to click Haze. They have no way to stall me out now, because I just keep clicking Haze until they lose their stats. And then on Indeedee, I just keep clicking Psychic until they lose the game. They'll probably end up targeting Murkrow because of this, so they could spam order ups a bit more, which is fine. It makes a lot of sense, but I don't really care a lot because Haze goes through sub anyway, and they're gonna. Oh shit! I clicked into Tatsugiri. Fuck. Okay. I thought I clicked the right arrow, but you know what? Not a huge deal. Truthfully, the bigger concern is just clearing the status on this because I just need to clear the bulk stats. It's more what I care about. Because that'll open up the potential a lot more for Gallade later on. Not that I needed it, but, you know, Psycho Cut, if it doesn't crit, will obviously do a lot more damage this way. And Murkrow starts chewing hits as well. Defense is rising. Again, that's fine. I don't really care. I just click Haze again. Because I don't need to click Haze right now. What I'm going to actually do, I'm going to click Taunt just to stop this thing from going for sub. And then I'm going to click Haze in the following turn. Because Murkrow will definitely take another hit, even if it goes for Wave Crash. This would essentially need to go for Terra, Water, Wave... Oh, shit, right. Second turn. Okay. I should have clicked Haze then. But essentially, though, this would need to go for, like, a Terra, Water... Well, no. It could just go for Wave Crash. They're going to go for Body Press, actually. That KOs. I'm kind of shocked. I can't lie. Okay. Well, a little upset that I didn't click Haze there, because Haze would have been the smart play. And I would have taken that Body Press anyway. So, you know what? A little bit upset with myself, I can't lie. But it's not a huge deal. It's really not a huge deal. Gallade should still massacre this. Psychic Terrain disappeared. Yeah, if I clicked Haze, I could have probably then gone for Taunt, and that would have been an amazing play right there. But, you know what? Their Body Press and Order Up here, they probably have Wave Crash or Substitute and then Protect, or maybe their Rest Talk. Either way, I'm just going to click Psycho Cut here into Helping Hand. And essentially my goal... Well, no, I'm just going to click Psychic. Because my goal should always be to try and attack that low death. Because Psychic's doing some good damage here. Albeit, they're going to go for Terra type. That's perfectly fine. If they're going for anything besides Terra Steel, we're going to do a lot of damage here with these attacks. If they're going to go for Terra Steel, so be it. They're going to go for Flying. Beautiful. So they probably assumed I was clicking Sacred Sword here. Which is a pretty logical thing to assume, but I'm clicking Psycho Cut just for high crit. And the fact that, you know, Terra Flying is a pretty common option on Dondozo. So we're going to go for Psychic and the Psycho Cut. This shouldn't take out, but that's fine. Psychic should do enough next turn. Order Up is not going to do a lot either. This will, I guess, take out Indeedee, but that's really all that they get from this. Yeah, they'll take out Indeedee for sure. Which, again, not really a huge concern for me, in my opinion, because Psycho Cut should 100% take out this mon. They're +2 defense, but at the same time, we're Scope Lens Gallade to Psycho Cut. I don't exactly think it's too out there for me to get the crit. So, we're going to go for a Psycho Cut at this point. Tailwind petered out, that's fine. They've lost their speed, so I'm not really too concerned with this interaction. The worst thing they could do, I guess, would be... Okay, fuck. So they're still getting... Oh, they clicked Sleep Talk. What the fuck? Okay, so I got a huge benefit there because they completely wasted a turn. Whereas if they clicked Order Up, they might have actually been fine. But, I mean, it's not a huge concern for them. It's not a huge concern for me if they have Rest, because I should just KO... Yep, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I just KO when the crit happened. Which was pretty likely. So they're going to bring in Tatsugiri now at this point, and Tatsugiri should just get taken out by Psycho Cut. I can't imagine this thing takes more than one Psycho Cut. It's not exactly that bulky of a Pokemon. Meanwhile, as well, it also just, again, it's probably not going to be bulk invested. It's probably Scarfed, and I'm pretty sure it's still locked into Icy Wind. Though if it could change its moves, that would be pretty cool. So we're 2-0, which is pretty good. We're going to get into game 3, though, so we'll see you guys in game number 3. Okay, and we're moving on to our final game of the day. We're taking on Annihilate, Sylveon, Garchomp, Talonflame, Rotom, Mo, and Stonjourner. Kind of shocked we don't fight a lot of these, at least at like the not Master Ball ranks. I feel like this would be a mon I expected more of. They're 100% going to lead off with Annihilate and Talonflame here. I feel pretty certain on that. So what I'm actually going to manage to do, I'm going to lead off with... I think I'm going to lead off with... How do I want to lead? I think I'm going to lead off with Indeedee Murkrow, weirdly enough. I feel like it still offers enough, even if they do lead off with this lead comp, because I can essentially just go for Tailwind of my own, get that up, and then I'll have Indeedee as well to set terrain for Armarouge and Gallade in the back. And I think that'll work out fine, because I'm going to definitely burn Terra on Gallade this game. I feel like that's my best Terramon for certain here. I could also bench Armarouge, actually. Armarouge definitely has some matchup issues. I'm going to bench Armarouge, and I think I'm going to bring Kingambit in the back. Kingambit might also open up another... Well, no, Kingambit definitely does not open up a Terramon here. Yeah, I feel confident in this. We're going to go with this comp. But I feel pretty good about this. Gallade plus Kingambit actually is really good here. And even with terrain up, Kingambit can always just go for Sucker Punches on Talon. And also for Rotom, actually. So we're pretty set there. Rotom can't even actually tear around it. It has to just take the priority hits. So we're definitely going to be okay with that. Now, as far as what my opponent's lead... Yep, Sylveon and Stone Turner. Okay, that's literally like the opposite of what I thought was going to get led here. I can't lie. So I'll definitely take this, though. I'm still actually pretty okay with this lead, in all honesty. Albeit the one area where this is a little bit of a downside is the fact that they're essentially going to get a pretty free Hyper Voice here. But it's not too big of a concern because neither of these are Triggermons. So I'm just going to go for a Psychic into the Stonejourner. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Tailwind with Murkrow. Because I don't really have a reason to Terra Murkrow just to avoid taking the super effective hit. They're going to definitely Terra that Sylveon, though. It's almost certainly going to be Terra Fire. Yep, they're going to be Sylveon Terra, and it is Terra Fairy, actually. Terra Fairy is also interesting, but this basically assumes that they have no coverage in this one, which I'll also take that. I'm wondering if they're like a Calm Mindset, which would be definitely pretty funny to see at least, but it works out well for me. They're probably actually Yawn. That's probably more likely what it is. But we're going to go for Psychic on Stonejourner. It should be some decent damage. Yeah, that basically takes it out. Focus Sash, good to note. This means that something like Annihilate or Garchomp, or really everything else is not Focus Sash. So we'll take that. Indeedee avoids the Rock Slide. It's pretty decent. Murkrow also avoids the Rock Slide. I'm so sorry. That's pretty terrible. Hyper Voice should just kill Murkrow anyway, though, if we're going to be honest. Indeedee, though, that probably does matter a lot for. Especially because that would have been a single target Hyper Voice. You know what? I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to sweat it. We're going to bring in Gallade here. And I'm going to go for Psychic into the Stonejourner because it's super fucking slow. And I'm going to go for the Psycho Cut into Sylveon because it's super fucking slow. Actually, no, I'm going to go for Helping Hand into the Gallade, and I'm going to go for Psycho Cut into the Sylveon because it's super fucking slow. And I can't go for like a Quick Attack on me either because of the fact that we have the Psychic Train up, which is very valuable here, because otherwise that would be pretty valuable for them. They're going to go for Wide Guard. That's really fine by me because they don't actually have to, they don't have any protection from this. So, bye-bye, Sylveon. Their Terramon is now completely cleared. They would essentially have to go into Talonflame right now, click Tailwind, and then bring in like Garchomp and just start spread killing my team. Which even still, that would involve a lot of Rock Slide flinches, so I'm pretty okay with this. They're not really going to gain any mileage. They are going to go into Talonflame here. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm going to proceed to do, I'm going to click Follow Me. And I'm going to go for the Psycho Cut into the Talonflame. Because I just want to take out Talonflame at this point. If they're going to click Brave Bird and try and kill my Gallade, so be it. I don't really care. They would need to click Tailwind, though, for any actual win con here. So they're going to click Tailwind. That's fine. It's a little bit annoying for my endgame, but ultimately, making sure that they didn't get this off was for the best. Their Stonejourner outpaced. Holy shit. I figure this mon is really fast. And we're obviously not max speed Gallade. And I just, again, forget this mon is actually fast. We're going to go into Kingambit, though, and we're going to click Sucker Punch on Talonflame. Meanwhile, I'm going to click the Psycho Cut on Stonejourner. It's only just because it does more damage to everything. So we'll go for Sucker Punch there, and I'm going to go for Psycho Cut on Stonejourner. But this should do the most damage to literally anything that switches in at this point. Talonflame should get taken out 100% by this mon. Beautiful. Talonflame is now gone. So it's really just Stonejourner left. Well, Stonejourner and one other mon, which I'll definitely take that. So one of Garchomp, Annihilate, or Rotom. I think the scariest one on paper would be Garchomp. But I still have outs for that. I can still definitely go for like Terra Dark on Kingambit and just go for Sucker Punch. I could also go for Terra Grass on Gallade and go for the Leaf Blade, and that also works really well for me. If Gallade comes in, I'm going to definitely go for the... Yep, okay. I'm going to definitely go for the Terra Dark and Sucker Punch. And so Annihilate coming in is actually probably the best case, in my opinion. So we're going to go for the Sucker Punch. Oh, no. I can't go for Sucker Punch here. Then I'm not going to Terra, and I'm going to go for the Psycho Cut here. Just because there's not really a reason to go for Terra, in my opinion. Oh shit, I clicked Sucker Punch again. Fuck, I don't know why. I meant to click Kowtow Cleave. This actually might benefit me, I can't lie. Because they didn't get to boost their Rage Fist. Okay, I don't know how much that mattered. I mean, we're bulky Gallade, but we're not like obnoxiously bulky Gallade. We just disappeared. Okay. So, what I actually need to do here, I need to go for the Terra Dark, hope I take the Drain Punch, which I should, and then go for Kowtow into a Sucker Punch. And that's what I should have done last turn. I should have done Kowtow into Sucker Punch. And I think that ultimately is where, if anything, I might lose this game. Because I didn't go for Kowtow last turn into a Sucker Punch this turn. But it's not a huge deal for what it's worth. They could click bulk up anyway and try and get around that. So it's not like I'm exactly like guaranteed winning off of this, but it does help. It does help a lot. So thankfully we didn't get off damage actually, because this helps a lot with just getting off this Kowtow, making sure they're not getting recovery back at this point as well, which is pretty valuable. So yeah, they're essentially in Sucker Punch range at this point. So I will definitely take that. They have no recovery, so they essentially need to predict around all of my Sucker Punches here to actually have a chance at taking this. So I will definitely take that. They're going to probably go for a couple bulk ups here, and I'm okay with that. I'm not really too concerned. Yep, bulk up. This is fine. Kowtow did enough damage anyway. Truthfully, so I know a lot of people typically will just click, they'll just click 7 Sucker Punches. They're going to go for Protect and bulk up. So they're Protect, bulk up, Sucker Punch, and Rage Fist. Okay, good to note. So I'm going to click 7 Sucker Punches. On the 8th one, I'm going to click, on the 7th one, I'm going to click Kowtow. I'm going to go for Sucker Punch the other 6 turns though. So this is number 3. They're going to go for a bulk up here. They're probably going to go for a Protect, and then a bulk up, and then a Protect, and then I'm going to go for Kowtow. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for that. So they're going to Protect. Yep, okay, this is fine. I think they're going to assume that next turn I'm going to attack, which I'm okay with that. If they go for Drain Punch here, so be it. We're going to go for, yep, Sucker Punch into a Kowtow. Sucker Punch did not go off, that's fine. But I'm assuming here on this specific next turn, and this is why I think I'm only clicking 6 Sucker Punches, is I think they're either going to click another bulk up and think that I'm going to click Protect, or think that I'm going to predict around clicking Protect, or they're going to raw attack me here. And either way, my best play is to click Sucker Punch here, just to try and make sure that I'm not clicking it on a turn where they might attack me. They're going to click bulk up again. Okay, so they did click the bulk up again. They went with that route. So then in that case, yep, I'm going to click one more Sucker Punch, actually, and then I'm going to click Kowtow. Oh, fuck, we're out. Well, hopefully they have not been PP tracking, because I was not PP tracking. If they were, then they win. But I lost track of that 100%. They did PP track. Very good by my opponent. I should have Kowtowed. Very unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is. We're still 2-1 for the day, so I'll definitely take that. We went up a whole tier, so again, also pretty good. If you guys want to try this team yourselves, it's going to be linked down below with the rental code as well as the Pokepaste. And if you guys enjoy and you want to see more content like this, leave a like and subscribe. Shoutouts to our channel members, of course, being Josh K Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke0, Matt O'Shea, Nox Nocturnal, and Koemi. Your guys' support is very appreciated. And if you want to go the extra mile, link to the channel member button is down below, as well as to our Twitter and Discord, where you guys can stay up to date on future content. I'm going to see you guys in tomorrow's video, which I'm not sure what it will be, but I do want to also mention that tomorrow we're going to be streaming some Battle Spot VGC. And if anyone has any mons they want to see teams around, I'm going to fish through the last week or so of comments for anything that anyone suggested, and I'm going to try and build teams, and we're going to try and just do a bunch of laddering on stream. So it should be interesting. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, that'll be at 7 p.m. EST. So see you guys then. Until then, peace out, guys.